Welcome to another CMO Wisdom podcast with Michael Smith, aka Magic Mike, CMO at US Verb. Got a bunch of experience as a high exec in a bunch of companies. So president at Shell Social Club, turnaround and startup engineer. Shell's a big company. Then Woodside Energy, Score Group, and a bunch of others. So we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about US Verb. This podcast is brought to you by my own podcasting company. It's called podfire.com. If you want to start, scale, be invited to a podcast like this one, or even find sponsors and monetize the crap out of your podcast, I can help you do that. Go to podfire.com if you need help scaling your pod. Mike, welcome to the pod. Can you tell me a bit more about yourself and about US Verb?
Yeah, Magic Mike, that's right. Look, there's a good story behind that, but it's not the story you're thinking of. It's really around, you give me something, I get it done. I'm very determined. I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. You give me a job and it's got to get finished. So, but yeah, look, a bit about myself. Very quickly, spent about 22 years in oil and gas, working for all the giants, Woodside, Conoco, previously Shell. Great company, great opportunity to sort of get exposed to that sort of industry. But yeah, getting to a season in life where becoming a father of 3 kids and a beautiful wife, the supreme leader of the family, really just put me in a position where I wanted to be a little bit more, look, the world's got a lot more to offer. So being able to be home more with the family and that, there was a great opportunity to work with Paul Duca, who's the CEO of US Verb, which is a best mate of mine. And yeah, we've got some really exciting stuff that we're working on here at US Verb and this tech company out of Perth, which no one knows about. And we're starting to scale now.
So the transition from corporate to startup, how did you go through that? Because you got accustomed to working at these big companies, this big team, this bureaucracy. Sometimes things are a bit slow moving. So how did you adapt to that?
Yeah, look, it definitely was we use a term called golden handcuffs. It's you get to a point where you get comfortable and you get comfortable with the salary, you get comfortable with the opportunities, and it becomes a bit more of the same old. But yeah, it's moving into US Verb, just having the ability to work with an amazing team. We've got a front end, full stack, back end, API team, and we can make decisions as we think of them. Whereas being in an industry that, as can be bureaucratic, it's a lot of decisions need to be made. You've got to go through analysis and conversations. You've got to align yourself across shifts, and you lose a lot of that momentum and that passion, and it can really take away and break your spirit. So I sort of made the decision to sort of exit that sort of industry. And yeah, the opportunity with Paul, my good friend, he's a bit of an Elon Musk of Perth. And he said he's always wanted me to come and work for him. So the time was right, and he said, let's go.
Right. Did you guys get some funding?
No, we're all privately funded, which is a bit interesting. We're a bit of Perth's best kept secret. Paul and Grant, who Paul's brother Grant, who's the COO, they ran a very successful robotics company pre-GFC. Paul's got a heavy industry in mechatronics and marketing. Won a lot of awards, top 40 under 40, Ernest & Young awards. Really starting to shift and shake. And it was a great opportunity when he had a big lineup of talent coming to work for his business. And his issue was, look, I want to find the talent. And everyone that wears a pair of R.M. Williams boots and a jeans and a checkered shirt calls himself an engineer, but he's like, where's the talent? So that's where the idea came from with US Verb. It was like, if I could just get a short little video of who they are, I'll get to meet them before I meet them in person. I can make better hiring decisions. But to move into where that went, Charles, is Paul tested a lot of that in San Francisco when he went over there traveling in around 2016. Tested it with some people like Johnson & Johnson's, Under Armour, American Express at some tech summits. And we love the idea. But Paul, being very loyal to his roots, came back to Perth, and we started US Verb, and that's been 6 years in the making. We've really been trying to build it bottom up. So we're not really a startup anymore. We're actually quite well established, because with startups, it's always said that's a great idea, but there's a lot of hard work that goes in with that, and you've got to get the seed funding and the venture capital. but we haven't had to do that. We've got some really great support with some close people that really believe in what we're doing. So we've made it critical to get this product right over the last 6 years, and we've engineered it in stealth. And literally, we're just going to market now. We're not doing any advertising. It's all word of mouth, which is great to hear that you're reaching out to us, but it is creating a bit of FOMO in the market at the moment.
Right. I've seen a couple of what do you call them, video HR tech startups this year. It's actually a niche. And when I was recruiting a bunch of humans, when I wasn't driven to only work with AIs, that was not so long ago, I would also require these video letters. Nowadays, I interview folks straight up on my podcast, so they need to be that good, so I can promote them out there. But yeah, it only makes sense because a video tells you about the connection of a person, about their their technology that they're using. Are they using a crappy Android phone of 2010, or do they have a modern phone? Especially if they work from home, that helps a lot. It tells about their skills to stay under cool when they're filmed, right? It tells about their verbal skills. It tells about their facial expressions. You can see if they're more reserved, if they're honest, and so forth. So yeah, it only makes sense. I had a look at your pricing. It seems that it's 30-ish per month if I'm a job seeker. And for a company, I think it's 150-ish, right, per month?
Yeah, look, it's a very attractive offer at the moment. We're actually offering for new companies that sign up, even if they're signing up for premium, it's $99 US, which is through our growth partners. So if there's any interest in anyone on, make sure you get in contact with our growth partners or reach out to us on US Verb. But we're offering a lot of setup support with that. And yeah, for the job seekers, I think it's $9 a month, and you're getting the job search secrets pack. But the job seeker sign up is actually free. We don't want to put that pressure on job seekers that are actually looking for work to actually pay for something. But there's also a free feature for the Company Plus. So it's very attractive compared to a lot of those job boards that companies are using, which are offering a one job, one ad offer, which can be quite expensive and not get the results they actually want out of that.
And I see the paid version for companies. So yeah, I'm trying to make the Mexican pesos conversion because it's giving me Mexican pesos, but they don't see ads when they pay. So there's ads when people use the platform. What kind of ads are these?
Yeah, so look, there's a bit of a touch point there just when you're using the Recruiter Dash, which is basically where literally you speed date your talent pool. There's some 3-second sort of how to help videos, which sort of gives people a little bit more than meets the eye on what the platform does. So it's not external ads coming through. It's actually internal advertising on, hey, look, this is what the video does. This is how the Recruiter Dash works. This is what a company page looks like. This is what you're missing out on. So it's really trying to convert them onto the premium platform to show, look, there's so much more here that you're missing out on. And it's just a soft touch point to show them what we do.
That's quite cool. And what type of advertisers would there be in there? Because I'm guessing this would be a good part of the initial revenue by the company.
None. We're not. We're totally different to what is sort of seen as the norm of adding advertisements, and we're trying to just keep it lean in terms of what the product brings to the company. So there won't be any external ads for the next foreseeable future of just that stuff that just sits around. It's noise. We don't want that.
Okay, because that's what I saw on the pricing page. So what did you guys mean by no ads?
So the ads are, they're ours. Advertisements for premium, Company Plus, courses feature, job seeker active. There's nothing non-use verb that's in there. They're sort of internal.
Okay, so use verb ads.
Company. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Interesting. How do you get these big clients to sign in? What are your marketing strategies at play?
Look, it's literally in this. We've just kicked off probably in the last 10 weeks. We have launched in America as well. We got our CEO, Paul Duca, is based in Houston now in the Woodlands, and that's starting to move. We've got some ops managers coming on board that's starting to set up our affiliate program. It very much is word of mouth. We have a strong presence on social media, but it's very organic. And we're using our authority in the market with the relationships we have to start creating that network effect of fear of missing out. So Only recently we had a big major drinks company here in Perth, Western Australia called Gage Roads. It's a very large operator, and they've been on with us for about 3 weeks now. The sort of testimonies we're getting from them is with the QR codes that were forward facing onto their business and shop front is the question was, how's it going with your applications? And their response was, look, we've had quite a bit of interest in here. About 30 people have applied throughout the community. But the best part of it is we didn't even need to interview them. We got 8 people starting Monday. So that's just great authority for us, where we're not trying to cold call and introduce people now. Those warm leads are starting to reflect the testimonial responses that we're getting from our client base. And where we felt that the verticals would just be across our hospitality and retail sector, we're getting verticals across every sector. We've got lawyers, we've got logistics company, we've got daycare centers, we've got real estate, we've got hotel chains. It's great because people really understand that people hire people don't hire paper. And I think we've just got to shift with this way of thinking. What you're saying is how do you see those points of data when you're asking people to apply to jobs, and all we get to see is the person on paper. But the most important part of that hiring process is the interview. And some people that may be better in person have lost that opportunity to show the best part of what you want in that company, especially for casual workforce, people that are low skill, high will. They're not getting a chance to say, hey, Charles, I've got a good attitude, I've got motivation, I've got personality, I'll turn up on Monday, I'm a hard worker. It's one of those things we just see and we know when we're looking at someone, and it helps us hire with confidence. So what we're really trying to do here, Charles, is rehumanize the recruitment process and just bring a little bit of a touch point back into the selection process, which actually helps you get to meet all your candidates in less time than an interview, and you get to meet them before you meet them in person.
So what are your top 3 goals as the CMO this year?
Top 3 goals, CMO, define our messaging and branding on point. So as I said, I'm in the market now, just testing the narratives, testing the languages, objections, pain points. That will be an import into the growth team, which is our growth partner program. That's currently getting written up. It's finalized actually next week with our lawyers, and that'll start be getting marketed to the wider realm of the world, which we want to connect and coordinate the world's workforce. And then after that, we're going to start really focusing on providing that support piece for that network, setting up some AMAs. We've got some companies actually operating in Texas now that are going to be helping us facilitate those conversations, and just getting the word out to our growth partners. That's the real focus at the moment.
And how do you interact with Paul? How do you guys make up a good team, and how do you report to Paul?
So we've got a feature on, there's a lot more to US Verb than just the application tool. We are a suite of tools for businesses, companies, small to medium-sized operators. And one of them is Work Chat. It's basically chat for work. It just gets you off all the third-party platforms when you're trying to separate work and play, and dedicate your business to conversations at work. So it's very much like a Slack style, team style, dumb version, which is just easy. You set up a couple of channels, you can add people to it, you can put content in there, you do voice record, send videos. We're very active on that. Gets us off the emails and just encourages a lot of conversation. But we do catch up once a week, and look, most nights we're catching up because we're best mates.
And yeah, that's a fine point right there, after work. And basically Paul's priority, like vs yours, Paul, is it like unlocking big enterprise accounts, and yours is more the branding and, let's call it, the ads and the remarketing to test the market out there?
Yeah, look, Paul is very much a visionary. As I said, he's the Elon Musk of Perth. He does want US Verb to fund his space program, if you can think like that. We want to be going up against the giants. We want to be going up against the Apples and the Facebooks and the Microsofts. We will have a platform that is going to be tailored to that. We want phone companies, but we really want to help the small man that wants to think like the big man. You know, we're a platform that's going to help people grow quickly. But where Paul operates on, that's his vision. You've got Grant on the other side. He's the COO. He looks after the product that works. So he's right into the engine room, under the bonnet, making sure that the parts that we put in there, the engine can run. And basically, I'm the guy on the track. I'm making sure the product can sell. we can get it to market. So everything that sits with social media, marketing, growth, people. I'm PR, which is what I'm doing now. I love meeting new people. I love connecting with people. It's just my passion. That's why they call me Magic Mike. Just love to bring the magic and show people what we're about, build our brand, and go to market. So yeah, but Paul's very much looking at that next part of the business, which is growth. Look, everything's got a price tag, Charles, but we are a multi-billion-dollar company that no one's heard of yet, and we're just going to market, and it's hot. So no one knows about it, and when they hear about it, it's almost like when Facebook kicked off. They're like, "What is this? What's this use verb?" And it's really good now. 10 weeks in, we're starting to hear those conversations going. Old friends and colleagues start talking to us because we've got a lot of content on our platforms now with LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. We've got a heavy team in there that build all this content, and it's just starting to authorize us as we start to connect with people like yourself. And they're like, "I like what you guys are about. You're up to something good," and it is good. So our main motto here, Charles, is speak life. It's on the back of our shirts. It's about building increase and bringing the kingdom. And we just want to sell that. It's a brand, it's infectious, and we want to help people that are trying to think like big businesses. And if I can just say, in its essence, when you've got a great idea, the first thing you think of is, I got to employ my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother. I've got to go and put a job ad on Indeed or Seek. And look, they're paying up to $1,000 a job ad for one job ad for 1 month. And all right, it gets saturated, but the processing time to go and shortlist that, and the spreadsheets and the information, and it seems like it's fast, but you get to the end of that and you've got 5 people walking in that aren't fit for the role because they're not great in person. And then you can build a nice company page, which costs you like $5,000 on a web designer. And it just starts adding up. And what happens is the engine starts slowing down because we're trying to think like big business. And the beauty of Use Verb is you're paying $99 a month if you sign up for one of our growth partners. So make sure you find out who they are. You can set up a quick company page. You can set up a shopfront QR code. You can set up your own jobs board. And the beauty of that, Charles, is you're able to connect with your community, because when you're in a community and you're advertising jobs and you put it on a jobs board that's external, no one in your community knows you're hiring. And it's always like you're having to tell people. So we've basically created this really clever click funnel where you can build your company page, advertise your job boards, which are unlimited. We're unlimited job ads for that $99 fee. So you can start getting ahead of how you want to scale your business, level your business, step your business, start advertising that into your social media, your LinkedIn profiles, your Facebook. And the idea is when you click on all these links, they bring you back to the Use Verb platform, and you can start speed dating your talent pool and shortlisting them and candidate profiling and actually using it like an ATS to get to a shortlist and meet your candidates. And then basically, once you come for the jobs, you stay for the work chat. You've got that comms plan business there where you can set up your HR team, your finance team, your working groups, your rosters, and you've got a way of staying connected. And then when you want to switch off work, you switch off Use Verb. Use Verbs for work.
Magic Mike, how do you get stuff done and anything done? What skills do you use to make that happen? Is it persistence, discipline, energy? What is your magic recipe?
Well, I'm going to throw it back to you because I watched one of your podcasts and your videos. It says, passion means to suffer for your dreams. I like that. Say yes. And I think there's a lot of things in life that connect with our why, Charles. And I think even when you were a child at 5 years old, we wanted to be an astronaut or a pilot. We've forgotten to dream. And the dream gets lost with the apathy of where we're at in the world. And that's just a feeling, you know, it's just a feeling. And unless you get up out of bed and you turn the Netflix off and you stop ordering Uber Eats, you've got to get off the couch and basically say, I'm going to start my day with step one. You know, step one is the next step. What's the next step after that? And as you start to put these steps together, you start walking in the authority that people go, wow, this guy's different. This guy's doing something. And the one thing I teach my kids is if you start something, finish it, right? Everyone knows how to start something, but not everyone finishes well. And you've got to be your own brand. You've got to represent who you are. Your word's your bond, your handshake's your contract, and your smile's your introduction. So we've got to start representing who we are because that's what's attractive. That's what sells, Charles. And hopefully during your next application, you can use Verb and put that on a video because that's what's selling.
Thank you, Mike. Where can people find out more about you?
hey, get on US Verb, connect with me. I'm here. We are so available. You're not gonna be someone that gets a ticket at some third-party software support center that gets raised up. You guys reach out to me on LinkedIn. You connect with me on US Verb. We're sort of like a pre-LinkedIn. We want to help that very much that casual workforce connect well, get off their professional networks, and start building that community on US Verb. So we're there. It's about connection. We want to build relationships. So if you reach out to me on US Verb, get in touch with me. We can give you all the information you want. And if you want to even become a growth partner, which is the last thing I'll leave you with, we've got a really attractive scaling option for our growth partners. And we're basically giving 70% commission to those growth partners if you represent us in your community, because you are a brand and you can sell it. US Verb is a great product, and you're able to offer that discount. So we've got some people in America, which is Greg, who's just come on as an ops manager. We got Paul Duca, who's over in America, and we've got a team here in Perth. So reach out to myself, Grant, Emma, anyone that's on US Verb, and we'll definitely get in touch with you guys. We're real people and we want to do it the right way.